have fun going because the weather, obviously the sunshine's lovely, but if you look at it, it's a bit bouncy, I think is what we're saying. So what we don't want to do is become bouncy ourselves. So walking in sideways, staying together, all in one group, just going in sideways carefully. So everybody's done it before, haven't they? We haven't got anybody. We've got no newbies. We're gonna do 5 minutes, and then Nick's gonna be shore support for us, and so it'll keep us right if we start drifting, because actually it's really crossing over. It's coming from both directions. So which I don't think means there's a whirlpool, but anyway, we'll find out. So Nick will do shore sport. We're definitely going to do 5 minutes if everyone's happy, and then we'll assess at the end of that. Probably go for 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just probably better if we get past the big waves.
One of the principles of the group is to help people to begin to do cold water swimming. So it was really good. Somebody literally held your hand as you go in the first time, teach you about safety. So you just don't ship up and dip. You actually come and you learn how to dip safely. And mental health, it's really good for your mental health. It just like today, it was quite rough, which you weren't expecting it to be so rough, and we've just laughed and laughed and laughed. And you need to do that. You find your inner child really, and I think that's one of the very few things you can do as an adult, where you can be really silly, and yet we know we're safe. One of the things that we're taught to do is to really breathe, so you do kind of your deep breathing, and that really helps you, and that's really good for you anyway, doing that deep breathing. And so that, and the sense of being in the water, when you immediately get in, it's all shock, and we have to get people, we teach people to relax, because it's the relaxing that makes it less cold, if that makes sense. But once you get actually into the water, it's bliss. You know, we get gorgeous days even in the winter. We just go in floating about, and we all go, God, this is just gorgeous. It's just so blissful. So very peaceful.
On the way to the nice ice cream shop.
Oh, we have to fucking know.
No, it's beautiful. I love it there.
It's brilliant. I tell you what,
You've been there, Denise?
It's great. They've got so many different flavours now. I couldn't believe it last week.
I know, every time you go, it's a different flavour,
There was
isn't
one
there?
with Guinness in West Bush.
Yeah, there was when I went, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a thing, yeah.
Yes, it must have got me all over. I went through.
Yeah, there was no escaping, was there? It wasn't taking any prisoners whatsoever, that water.
Why aren't you wet? Why are your hair's not wet?
You had a yellow hat on. It's not so much fun when you're still down there in the next one.
Put her off with all that.
There you go. It should be better than last Saturday.
Well, we're just sort of bobbing along.
When I first get in the water, I feel horrific. Like I never like I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It takes about 3-4 minutes to do that, but I've never really found that I get into the water and I think, wow, this is amazing. I always think like, I'm freezing, and then it comes like you speak to your friends and you're like, this is really fun. Like we're all uncomfortable, we're all like really cold, but like you start to warm up and you start to think like they wouldn't want to do anything else because it's just such an unusual way to socialise with people. It's such a healthy way to like see people. Like obviously with our big group, like you see so many people get to speak to so many people, but I do think there are benefits to it. Like it definitely like perks me up for the day. Like it's like having a coffee in the morning, you know, but with fresh air.
Yes, it is. I still do use the technique. What I don't do is like not bad. For me, the camera's on like 1,000.
A friend invited me to join, and it was actually after I'd lost my dad and had had a year or so of bereavement. I'd lost quite a few family members, and because it was quite soon one after the other, you become numb. And I think with my dad being the most recent one, I became almost suicidal, to be honest, and didn't know which way to turn. Luckily, I have a good friend that is part of this group, and I just spoke to her about things. And she, as I said, recommended coming. And it has just, it's almost like a release that when you get in the water, just everything, aches, pains, everything just disappears and your mind clears. And that gives me, during a week, enough strength to focus on other things and to kind of put my effort into those other things.
Yeah, it's when you do the ungraceful, like,
Yeah.
That's why I wear my Crocs.
Turning up in A&E with a really scrubby pedicure and half the stuff off and on. And the consultant says, bloke. So I'm like,
At the moment, that's the least of my worries.
yeah, that is absolutely the least of my worries.
Brilliant. See you later, guys and girls. Bye.
Are you going to go swimming tomorrow? Your little teacup.
You swimming tomorrow?
No. Rugby's on. You won't see me now.
Doesn't seem to be as many of us today.
And a lot of unfamiliar faces.
Oops.